everyone, Random Randy here. This is Yarn Talk and More, episode 71. If you are new to the channel, Yarn Talk is a vlog, generally weekly, dedicated to crochet, knitting, fiber arts, and whatever crafty stuff I get up to, sometimes sewing. If you are worried that your fiber intake is lower than the recommended dosage, be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you can ensure that more awesome projects like these can keep your hands and your heart full. So it's been about 2 weeks since I did a Yarn Talk video. I did Vlogtober for a good solid week and crashed out hard like I usually do. But there are a lot of factors involved in that. Primarily, my husband's still not home, and he was supposed to be home a few days ago, and I haven't heard anything, so I don't know what the heck's going on. And I'm still trying to get ready for this craft fair that's Saturday, and now I'm wondering if I'm gonna have to find someone to watch my kids all day so I can actually go. Super duper fun. More on that later. You're probably here for the fibery stuff, so I'm going to dive into the things that I have finished first. I have more stuff than I have had lately because I'm in panic craft fair making mode. So, where to start? Have a lot of hats. The things that I'm going to be mostly making in the next couple of days are mostly going to be amigurumi and toys type things, because I seem to do better with those than with wearables. I don't know why. So, grabbed one of these handy dandy styrofoam mannequin heads, which has been terribly abused by my children, like all of them have, so it looks like garbage. Oh well. This, which you've seen this on my head, so you know it fits an actual human-sized head. This is the one cat ear hat I have, where I made the ears separate and sewed them on. I do plan to make more like this. I was hoping to make some ears separately for the craft show. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that. So there's one finished object. Other finished object, I have 2 of these. This is a pattern that I have finally worked all the kinks out of, and I'm hoping to do a tutorial on this sometime soon, probably once the psychosis of the craft market is over. Don't quite have a name for it yet. I don't know if you'll be able to see the lines and the texture. There we go. But this is another cat-eared hat, and as you can see, it's got the ridged rows here and here. It has a little crab stitch along the bottom edge. And this is done in... This is in the Cupcake Confetti colorway from Big Twist Yarns, which is a Joann's exclusive. And this one, if I didn't mention it, is a Hirschner's holiday yarn. It actually has silver glitter sparkly stuff in it. There's that. And I also made another one of the same pattern. I can get it to sit straight here. Get the fuzz off of it. This was made with all purple scraps. Just 3 different colors of purple scraps. This one I know is carrying 1 pound. The other ones I have no idea because I got 3 bags of solid color acrylic yarn from somebody a couple months ago for pretty cheap, less than $1 a ball, and a lot of them don't have the tags with them. But I know it's all acrylic and it's worsted weight, so whatever. The boys are being loud, so if kid noises bother you, I've got 2 kids. They're almost 4, and Hunter's going to be 6 in January, so I have children's. They are loud children's. But at least they're playing and not fighting right now. So this other one that I have, oh my goodness, I have 4 of this particular hat. So this, I have actually filmed a tutorial for this hat, and I do plan to release it soon. I just haven't gotten a chance to edit things yet. I'm calling this the Feline Fine hat, which I have to check and make sure nobody has stolen that name yet on Ravelry and such. But it's a pretty simple hat. This is 2 strands of worsted weight held together. If I can get it to focus, there we go. This is made with Caron Simply Soft Party in Royal Sparkle, I believe is the color. It's a really pretty blue metallic. And the other one is Red Heart Super Saver Macaw. So there's one. And I have 4 of these because I had to test it a couple of times to make sure that it worked. So this one, which is totally crooked on the mannequin, but that's what happens when you put it on from the top. This is Red Heart Super Saver Day Glow and just Mainstays Black. It's all just acrylic yarn. Double-stranded again. I have one more that's double, and then I have one that I made with bulky weight yarn. This is the last double-stranded one that I have. This is made with another Caron Simply Soft Party. It's whatever the light purple one is. And this variegated yarn is Red Heart Super Saver Grape Fizz. The last one of these altogether is done with bulky weight yarn. So it's only one strand, but it is the same design. I can get it on there. There we go. And this is Deborah Norville Serenity Chunky Sequins yarn. It's a white yarn. As you can see, it's got the sparkly sequins all sewn through it. It's also acrylic, but it's bulky weight yarn. So I only have one more hat that's a finished object. And this is just a puff stitch slouch hat. Which it's going to be hard to show on the mannequin, so I'm going to kind of pinch it in the back so it doesn't fall down. But I'm calling this the Frankenberry hat because I thought I would have enough of the Grape Fizz left to make an entire hat, and I didn't. So I ended up doing another stripe in here that is the Caron 1 pound that I used in some other stuff. Another stripe of it here, and then down here on the bottom for the band, this is Red Heart with Love in Boysenberry. And it's a little more purple than it's showing up on screen. It looks really red on screen, but it's got a big old fluffy pom-pom on top that's all of the yarns combined together. And as I said, this is a slouch. Very slight slouch, depending on where you wear it. I don't know if I can do it with my hair up like this. I probably can, just barely. Yeah, there we go. So, if you put it on like this, and don't have your hair up in a clip, it's actually just a little bit slouched in the back. It's not super long. But I like this. Puff stitch hats are super quick. I actually use the pattern from Bee Hooked Crochet. I use the written pattern that's on her blog because it actually starts you out with a few in the center and then you do increases instead of starting at the bottom and then working your way up and then, you know, leaving a hole or having to gather it. This you actually start out with 6 puff stitches and increase from there. So that's that. That is the last done hat I have. I have a few Amigurumi that are done. This is a little octopus, which I believe I showed in one of my Vlogtober videos, but I didn't get to actually show it in a yarn talk. I haven't done one since I started doing those. So this is just the mini Amigurumi octopus pattern by Sarah Hearn, and it is a free pattern. This is the full-sized one. I've actually also modified it to make a smaller one, but this is the bigger one. And this is with more of that Hirschner's Holiday orange yarn. I also have, using the very last bit of that Grape Fizz, that one skein of Grape Fizz, I got this little medium Amigurumi Narwhal, which is my own pattern. Has a little heart for a tail. And I've actually modified the fins. I like this better because it makes it so it can actually sit on a shelf and be more stable and not flop over like the fins do. So when I do an updated video, I will include the way I do the little front fins on this. So this is also done with Grape Fizz, and the horn is done with that Caron Simply Soft Party that I mentioned. There we go. See, he's got a little smile, or she. Super cute. I want to have a few more of these to take with me. I know I'm not going to have many. So my goal, because my super ambitious goal was to have 10 of all the things I was going to take. I now have 5 is my goal. The other amigurumi that I have, I plan to be making a bunch more of these. These are little miniature F-bombs. Super tiny. These are going to be perfect for keychains, but I'm not going to actually put them on keychains. I'm going to take the keychains with me, and if people decide that they want them on a keychain, it'll be an extra $1 to put them on a keychain. So this, I can't remember the name of the designer, but I based my design off of theirs and made it teeny tiny, because that's what I do with all of the toys that I find. I find them and I think that they're too big, because my younger son Killian likes all of his toys to be super teeny tiny. So I modify them until they are teeny tiny. Yes, dear. Thank you, buddy. Aw, you're so sweet. I love you, buddy. So this is a little bit different from the original design, but there are a few variations of these, and I just made it tiny. And it's got the more Karen Simply Soft Party is the F. I don't know if it'll focus so that you'll be able to see that there's sparkle in there. I don't know, maybe. The yarn for the top with the very short fuse that's about to blow is Karen Simply Soft Party. And this gray, which is also glittery, stop looking at my face. The gray that is also glittery is Red Heart with Love Metallic. And it's just a plain Mainstays black acrylic for the base. So these are super tiny. I have these 3 that are done. I have 2 that I have the balls finished for, the actual bomb itself. I'm hoping to have 10 of these because I know these are going to go super fast. And I guess that will lead me into things that I am working on. So I found this pattern for an ultra super teeny tiny octopus, and I actually need to finish sewing this together. I meant to put safety eyes on this, but when you're sewing things together and it's really late, like 2 in the morning, you forget parts. So I'm going to have to either embroider them on or use dimensional fabric paint. Anyway, it's going to be really hard to see it with all these giant ends hanging off because I still have to sew it together. But this is going to be a super, super tiny octopus. It's like approximately 1 inch by 1 inch are the dimensions listed. So it's going to have this sewn onto the bottom to represent the tentacles, then it's just going to have a little face. I thought these would be perfect for keychains, or maybe if I could make quite a few of them, something that people could give out as treats for Halloween for people who do the teal pumpkin thing. And the teal pumpkin thing is for kids who have allergies. You know, it's obviously not something you eat, so it's perfectly safe for someone with allergies, unless they're allergic to plastic yarn or fiberfill. So hopefully I got all of that in there. I don't know if I managed to or not before the kids came in to help. Other things. These are just about finished. All I have to do is put the little sprigs of hair on top. But this is a Mr. Meeseeks beanie. These are just normal adult-sized beanies. I just did it in double crochet and used a 6mm hook, a J hook. The eyes are sewn on, the whites of the eyes are done separately, and it's going to have little sprigs of orange hair that'll stick up off the top of it. So if you've ever seen the show Rick and Morty, then you know about Mr. Meeseeks. Because existence is pain to a Meeseeks. So I've got 2 of these. I make it to make another 1 or 2 because the hats are super quick to make. Like I said, it's just regular double crochet hat with a ribbed brim. So I might get to make a few more of these. Not sure. It's not at the top of my list of things to do though. And this blue color is Red Heart Super Saver in Turquoise, which I have never used before, but it was in my acrylic yarn inheritance that I picked up for super cheap a couple months ago now. So there's that, and I just have to sew and tie the hair on. What else do I have? 2 more yarn things, and then bag things. Yarn things. This, well, firstly, this bag is a bag that I finished. that I am keeping for me, because this exterior fabric was given to me by a fibery friend, and she said I could do whatever I wanted with it. And even though some of the stuff I made was some of the other fabric I am selling, I feel like when somebody gifts you crafty stuff, you should keep some of it in some capacity. So I made myself a giant Afghan-sized bag. It's like 20 by 20. It's got these little kitty cats all over it. Some of them have witch hats, some of them have glasses. Super cute. And the inside is spiders and Halloween-y stuff. But this is the bag where my Reminisce cardigan is living. Well, they call it a sweater, but the way that it is, it's a cardigan. It's fine. Whatever, it's fine. So this is a paid-for pattern by Heidi May of the Velvet Acorn. And her apparel patterns are fantastic. They are definitely worth a couple of bucks, and this pattern actually has sizes all the way up from baby to, I think, 2X adult sized. The size that I am making is actually the medium to large size, which I think is going to be a little bigger than I was expecting it to be. But I just tied on my second ball of mandala, and it is getting longer, and it's actually going to be a little bit, this is about where it's going to sit because you sew on a button band too. I haven't decided if I'm going to do button or if I'm going to do zipper yet. I'm thinking zipper. Zippers are just more practical for me. I don't like buttons. I just don't. So, this is about where it's falling on me right now. Like I said, I just tied on the second ball, cake, whatever, recently. It fits really well. It's super easy once you get going. Now all I have to do is just get down to the bottom portion and add the ribbing and then do the sleeves, and I'm pretty much done. I like it a lot. It's done with a DK weight yarn and an H hook or a 5mm hook, so it goes pretty quick. Last time I showed it to you, I was here. And inside of the bag, I've got a little witch ribbon hanger for keys, stitch marker, or whatever to go inside the bag. So I'm working on that. I don't really have any timeline for that. I was hoping to have it done to wear to the craft fair, but I don't think that's going to realistically happen. Also have a poly webbing wrist strap that's on all my bags that I'm making now. Other yarny thing, well, last yarny thing for this one, is the Tri-Peak Fade Shawl, which is a pattern that you can now get on Ravelry and Etsy, I believe, from Holly of the Yarn Journey Crochet podcast. I was one of her pattern testers, and I think I caught the same mistakes that everybody else caught, but I caught them about 2 weeks behind everybody else because I suck at being punctual, I guess. So this is all made with my own hand-dyed yarn. This first section is in graphite. This is in 80% Highland wool, 20% nylon blend. This is Lucky Harlot, which is leftovers that I speckled from making my Harlot yarn, with the exception of the green. And this stuff here in the middle is what my Harlot yarn looks like worked up, which is pretty awesome. I am super pleased with the way that this is turning out. So I did get, as I said every time I finish one of the peak portions, I sew in all my ends, so my ends there are done. My ends for the second portion are done, and now I am into the third peak. But last time I showed it to you guys, I was right here. So, in 2 weeks' time, I've made a significant amount of progress, and honestly, everything from the first dangly end that you can see here, all the way to here, I did just last night, because I watched 6 episodes of Supernatural, all in a row with no breaks. Yeah. So I'm still working on that. This I might actually have done in time to wear to the craft fair, because I'd like to have something cool to wear. And I don't really want to wear my giant his and hers outdoor sweater because I don't know what the temperature inside the venue is like, and I don't want to sweat horribly and look like I'm dying or sick the whole time. So that is the last yarn thing, and that is in the bag made by the awesome Kendra of Hooked by Happenstance and Happenstance Place. So the only things I have left to show you are a few of the bags that I have been working on. 2 of them are finished, 3 of them I just need to add drawstrings to, and then I've got 9 or 10 more that I need to finish sewing together. Hopefully I'll be getting that done tonight. So the first 2 are this awesome candy pumpkin and candy corn print on the outside. You have a tan wrist strap, drawstring. The inside is this Halloween print. They do have the boxed bottom. And I have them on pant hangers because it's just easier that way. So I have those that I'm gonna have to rehang. You can tell I worked retail for too long because all of the hangers have to face the same direction. All of the handles have to go in the same direction. There we go, much better. All right, my OCD is happy now. So, handles, these are actually hanging on my rolling garment rack, which I got for craft fairs, and honestly to probably just store my bags when they're not being sold so they have somewhere to be, because I just haven't had space for them right now. And the other ones that I have done, another one that is giant sized, is this nifty green owl print. It says boo next to all the cute little owls. This has a black wrist strap, and the interior is some happy jack-o'-lanterns. Like I said, this bag, pre-sewing, the square was 20 by 20, so it's probably about 19 by 19. It's pretty big, and the bottom, I think when I measured it, came out to 6 or 7. Yeah, 6 or 7 inches wide, so it's pretty big. Pretty big bag. So I still have to put the drawstrings in that, and the other 2 bags that I actually have done are with this Disney villain print. It says Schooled and Cruel. Has the black wrist strap, and the inside is this swirly black and gray design that very much reminds me of Tim Burton, and the little internal tab has keys on the ribbon. So these need drawstrings, and I wanted to ask you guys, because I can't remember if I did in the Vlogtober or not, but people who use bags, do you prefer your bags to be like this, and they are very wide this way and shorter this way, or do you prefer them to be taller bags that aren't quite as wide? Because sometimes with the way that the print is, I can get more bags from a yard if I cut in this direction, and sometimes it works better the other way. So let me know which one you prefer in the comment section below, and that would be awesome because I would really like to know what people prefer. I've discovered that I like the wider bags better because a normal skein of Red Heart is quite substantial, and if you have it in a bag that's like this and you set it down, it tends to tip over. But if the bag is this way and so is the skein, then your bag tends to just sit and be happy. We all like happy bags. So that is all of the stuff that I have to show. The only other thing that I wanted to mention, and I saved it until the end because I know some people will probably be salty about it even though they don't need to be, because it doesn't affect you negatively in any way, shape, or form. I have started a Patreon page. If you are interested in supporting me with a monetary donation on the monthly, feel free to head over there and check it out. My tiers are at current small but reasonable. If you join the $2 monthly tier, you get access to the written PDF of my Hangetsu shawl pattern, which if you've already paid for it elsewhere, that obviously doesn't do you much good right now. So if you want to wait around until I have a little time to get my feet under me and have some other things at that level, feel free to wait, or just feel free not to donate at all. That's cool too. I will still be offering everything that is currently on my channel is going to stay on my channel. I'm not going to be removing any of my tutorials and moving them to that platform. I will be making new tutorials that will be Patreon exclusives. Occasionally it'll be a video, sometimes it will just be a written pattern that I have a video for here. So things are still going to play back and forth nicely. And if you join the first tier on Patreon, you'll also get a rolling credit with your name in it and an audio shout out to go along with it at the end of each of my videos, which is super nifty. And if you're somebody who has a channel and I don't recognize you by your channel name, I will mention your channel name in the shout out. The highest tier at current is $10 a month, and that will be for a group of people to have a Google Hangout, more personalized chat with me, as opposed to the complete and utter chaos that occurs with just a regular live video. Because it'll be a smaller group of people, so there will be a little more back and forth as opposed to, wait a minute, let me scroll 15 lines up and see what you said, because I have no idea, because there's 40 plus people in here chatting. So there's that, and that will really get more kickoff after the craft market is over. And I will also be, I'm going to say temporarily for now because I'm not sure how things are going to go, but I'm going to be moving all of my shop stuff from Etsy to a big cartel shop, which functions pretty much the same, except that they're not going to be dipping more and more and more and more money out of my pocket every month. It's just a flat fee, which I'm excited about. So I'm going to be attempting that, and my shop will be reopening there on the 27th of October. I should have everything reposted there and have all of my inventory counts adjusted from whatever sold or didn't sell at the show. So everything there will be good to go once that starts. So that is all of the business stuff, and now I'm just gonna kind of chitty chat for a minute or two about the way life things have been going, because it's been a little bit bananas, more so than I was expecting, but you know, the only real constant about life is that nothing stays the same for long. Homeschooling with Hunter has been going very well. He is responding phenomenally to it. And now that we don't have to be up at weird hours of the day, Killian's mood has improved significantly. He's been sleeping in until about 8 o'clock every morning, which is so nice because then Hunter and I have a little bit of time to just talk between the two of us, and I can have my coffee and relax. And it's nice when you're a stay-at-home parent and are the only parent a fair good portion of the time because your spouse is gone for work. You don't really get a lot of one-on-one time with your kids when they're this little. I know as they get older it'll get better, but for now I think it's kind of frustrating to both Hunter and myself, because me being an only child, sibling everything is just foreign, alien territory for me, and I live on reading blogs because I have no idea what to do as an only child. Like, I'm not trained for this. I don't know. I just don't get it. So many things I don't understand because I just never had to experience it as a child, so it's very, very strange to me. Aside from that, we went to our first homeschool co-op meeting the other day. They had a little Halloween party, which was super fun. The boys had such a blast. They had games and they got to wear their costumes. And I'll actually show the only picture I have that has the two of them but doesn't have other people's kids in it. So I'll show that one picture of both of the boys. Hunter is wearing diamond armor from Minecraft, which is one of his favorite games right now. And Killian is Marshall from the Paw Patrol, but his helmet with the ears is too small because he's such a big kid. But they had a lot of fun. They got to get some candy. They got to play on the playground. And at the end of they have one every other week meetup. They have a big Nerf gun battle with kids of all ages. There was something like, what was the final cat tally? Somewhere in the realm of 50 kids, I think. Yeah, close to 50. Closer to 60, actually. And the total attendance was over 70 people. So I don't think they were expecting that big of a turnout, but just about every parent who came brought a bag of candy with them. So there was more than enough goodies to go around, and they had little cupcakes that were Halloween-y, and everybody packed a lunch that they brought with them for their kids to eat. So that was all good. And the kids ranged in age as far as the kids who were actually doing classes, not including the small people who were there with their parents because they're too small to be anywhere else. Kids all the way from age 4 up to I think 15 was the oldest kid there. So that was really cool. There was a lot of different ages interaction, and with the Nerf battle, the older kids were trying to help get the younger kids organized and into teams, and it was really cool to watch. That, to me, is what socialization should be. People of a bunch of different ages, not everybody the same age, all squabbling over the exact same resources with very little differential experience to draw upon to properly interact with people from other places. It was nice. It was really nice. And I got to talk to a few people, which was cool. The next one that we'll be going to is early in November. They're going to be doing, it's a Thanksgiving around the world type deal. Every family picks a country and you make a dish to bring for a potluck lunch from that country, and you do a short little talky presentation about the country and what the dish is. So that'll be kind of cool. We still have to pick which country we're going to do, and it's 3 weeks away-ish. So we're going to have to come to a consensus on that pretty soon and hope that the one we want isn't one that's already been chosen. Do you want to say hi? Hey, look up there. Say hi.
Hi.
This is Killian. He is my 3, soon to be 4-year-old.
There's Pico.
You what?
I said Pico.
You have food on your face, my dear. So, here, go on. I'll be done in just a minute. Can you say bye-bye?
Bye-bye.
Go on, cutie.
Hi, hi, hi.
You already said hi. Go on. I'm going to finish up and then we'll get out of here, okay?
Go to Pico?
Yes.
It's iPad? I don't really say play though.
Okay. Go on. Give me a minute to finish up and then we'll go, okay?
The playground?
Yes, we will go to the playground.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, buddy. Give me just a minute. Sometimes they're so good. But it is super duper cold today. It is not even 40 degrees according to the weather widget on my phone, which is no fun, but the sun is out, so it is deceptively warm outside. I know it's going to be cold, but the boys don't know that it's going to be horrendously cold. So I'm going to get them all bundled up, and we're going to go to the playground so they can burn off their crazy, because Friday was the co-op meetup, yesterday was Saturday, today is Sunday. And after being around so many people, even though it was a good experience, I was pretty burned out. And I was like, let's just hang out in the house today and just kind of relax. So today, instead, we're gonna go out and get some fresh air and sunshine, I guess. And I'll have to take a project with me to work on. I have to figure out what I'm gonna work on. Most of the things I was planning to finish up have lots of little parts, so maybe I'll just take my tri-peak fade with me so I can get some more rows done on that. So thank you so much everybody for watching. If you'd like to follow me on social media, all of the links are down below the video. I have a Facebook group, which is Random Randy's Random Family. Instagram is just Random Randy's Ramblings, all one word, no punctuation, because that's how I roll. I have Twitter, but Twitter's kind of a joke for me at this point. It just automatically posts things when I upload them on YouTube to Twitter. So if you're interested in that, you can follow me there as well. And if you're interested in some extra cool tutorial stuff, feel free to join me over on Patreon. I already have a few people who are there, and that is Karen from Happiness is Homemade, and Dana from Tabitha's Treasures. So I will link to their channels down below the video, and I will have all that good stuff roll up after this. So thank you again so much everybody for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Can you say bye?
Bye!
Bye!